So I'm listening to the conversations in the crowd here. Apparently you need to book ahead of time and then get a like a number on your phone, and then you come here and put your ID card and you get it. So of course I'm not going to get in, which is ridiculous. So I'm going to go and talk to the security here and see if it's at all possible for me to go in. So guys, once again I'm here to show you how to survive in China without a car. Today's a very strange day, or not really strange if you live around here. It's a typical strange summer's day here in Shenzhen, where one minute you've got beautiful blue skies and the next minute a massive torrential downpour. So umbrellas required. Anyway, last time we took the subway, and that's easy mode. It's pretty easy to figure your way around. It's all in English. Well, you can change the machines to English, and it's very straightforward. But today we're going to take a bus. It's a good thing I bought my swimsuit, because we're going to go to Shenzhen's most popular beach today, and it's usually jam-packed, but luckily it's a weekday, so it should be quite nice and pleasant out there. Alright, so this is what a bus station more or less looks like. Very simple to spot. They usually have an awning over the top, and you'll see here is the name of the bus stop at the top, the D1 Dasha, D1 building bus stop, and underneath it has a list of all the buses that leave from this station. Of course, on the opposite side of the road, okay, which you can see down there, we'll have the same bus stop, you know, with the buses going in the opposite direction. Anyway, back to this. Unfortunately, there is no English on these bus stops, but what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to see, for instance, this is where we start, and it's kind of handy because you can see the metro station there. So these, you know, that's where the metro will get you. So if you're familiar with the metro system, you'll be familiar with where these places go. And you know, if you can understand Chinese, at least I understand it well enough to know what most of these characters mean. It also gives you information like the times over here, the times in which the buses run, and you know, every 5 to 6 minutes or every 7 to 8 minutes it'll arrive during these different times. Anyway, looking at all of these, there is not a single one of these buses that will take me to where I need to go. Well, since that bus stop did not have a bus that goes all the way to the beach, so I'm going to just walk around until I find a bus stop that actually does have the bus. It's entirely possible to use an app. In fact, if you just Baidu, which is the equivalent of Google, you can quite easily find the routes. But once again, you have to be able to type in Chinese and understand Chinese. Okay, so this is the Shenzhen Shuzhen bus station. Let's see what we've got here. 29, no. 85, no. No, that's Meigang, never mind. No, Shatou. Ah, there we go. Xiaomeisha. So if it goes to Xiaomeisha, it goes to Meisha, so that's where I want to go there. Yeah, that's a lot of stops though. Take a look at that. That's going to take like an hour and a half. It's like 20 plus stops, maybe 30. Anyway, that's where I'm going, so I've got to take the bus 103. Easy enough. Now before I get on the bus, I have to tell you how you actually pay when you get on the bus. There are two kinds of buses. Those with a fixed rate, in other words, their entire route will cost say 2 RMB or maybe 2.5 RMB. And then you have, you know, sort of variable rate buses like the one I'm taking, because it goes so far, it's not fair to charge somebody a set rate. So they'll charge you like 2 RMB to go for about 5 to 10 stops. I'm not sure the exact amount, but then, you know, you go past that amount, you have to pay more. Now the ones that have a set fee, it's fairly easy. As you step on the bus, they have a little machine. You can either swipe your card if you've got a like local Shenzhen Tong as it's called, or you can drop some coins or notes into a little sort of machine that the bus driver has. But there's no change, so it has to be exact. The second type will usually have a bus lady or bus assistant, and what she will do is she'll come up to you and actually ask you where you're going, and then you tell her the destination. This is where you need to know your Chinese. You tell her the destination, and then she will tell you how much, and you can either scan a card with a special machine or give her cash, and she can actually give you change. There comes my bus, the 103. All the way to Xiaomeisha, which is the smaller beach. Okay, looks like it's going to be standing room only. Watch the mad rush. See, that's a big problem. You're supposed to let people off first. I'll
旁
be
边那位
standing.
小朋友，小位关后门。
不用。
哪里啊？
要上面下。谢谢。So I got a little ticket, and it costs 5 RMB to go the entire length of this bus. Unfortunately, it is full, so there are no seats, and this is like a probably hour and a half journey. Hopefully, a seat will clear up a little later along the route, but you know, this is what I do for you guys, my subscribers.
门诊部到了，下车的乘客请带起您的行李物品，从后门下车。
还有厦门等过，还有。
Ah, good. Bad boys sit at the back. Now, don't expect any English when it comes to the buses, although there are actually English announcements. The problem is that the English announcements don't help listen.
长里，下车的乘客请准备。The next stop is 长里。
I don't know if you heard that correctly, but you know, in Chinese it says the next stop is Changli. Then in English it says the next stop is Changli. And if you don't know what Changli is, and it's not a Street Fighter 2 character, you're not going to know what you're doing. So once again, if you're going to take a bus, you kind of need to know where you're going. You probably have to be following like a GPS on your phone to see if you're kind of in the area, or you have to memorize the name. Well, time to get stuck into the journey. I will see you when I get there. Right, so I've arrived at the bus station which is closest to the beach. I got a little bit of a walk, so let's go and see what this beach is all about. Judging by all of the sort of floating rings and swimming costumes and all that kind of thing over here, I'd say I'm pretty close to the beach. For those of you who are interested, it took about 1 hour and 10 minutes to get here on the bus. It's shorter than I expected. Anyway, let's go see this beach. I've arrived at the entranceway to the beach, the Dameisha beach, which is the most popular in Shenzhen. And it's got a security checkpoint and sort of turnstiles and all sorts of nonsense. And, well, let's see if I can get in, because things have changed since I was here last. Okay, so this is something that you'll probably only ever get in China. In order to get onto the beach, you actually have to come and get a ticket from these machines. I guess it costs money. Let's find out. See what's going on here. So I'm listening to the conversations in the crowd here. Apparently you need to book ahead of time and then get like a number on your phone, and then you come here and put your ID card and you get it. So of course I'm not going to get in, which is ridiculous. So I'm going to go and talk to the security here and see if it's at all possible for me to go in. 你好，我不知道怎么用这个东西。
是外国的那个英语在这里搞不了是吧？
对。
那你就拿你的那个证件啊，给他看一下，给你过去。
好了，谢谢。Okay, so apparently he wants me to show my passport, which I didn't bring along with me. So let's see if they'll let me through anyway. Maybe I have a copy on my phone. Okay, so I have a copy of my passport on my phone. Let's see if these guys at the security will accept that. Scan my stuff first.你好，他们说我就给你看我的那个护照。谢谢你啊。不客气。好。Well, I mean, it's convoluted, it's ridiculous, but they're reasonable if you just talk to them. Thing is, I wasn't expecting that I'd have to show my passport to get onto a beach and go through security scanners, but there you go. Now, let's talk about the beach itself. Well, it's a good thing I'm dressed for the occasion anyway. Get a little bit of sand in my shoes. Let's quickly talk about this beach because there are quite a couple of significant things about it. It's free, so it's open to the public, although as you can see now you have to actually register. This beach is always packed. You've got to bear in mind it's Thursday right now, in the middle of the day. It's sort of, 1:15 on a Thursday. And, hello. And you can see there's still a fair amount of people, but if you come on the weekends, once again, you can't actually walk here. It's just not possible. And it's actually the stuff of nightmares, to be completely honest. Anyway, in order to stop all the trash, because I mean, you just need to look anywhere here on the beach, you'll see there's trash lying around. It's just it's unfortunately still the Chinese way. So, you know, when it gets really crowded, it's just full of trash. And so in order to stop that, and in order to stop the overcrowding, they do have this new registration system in place. Seamilk and I did a video about it. I'm going to link it so you can go and take a look if you like. But yeah, there we go. That's the beach. It took just over an hour to get here. Cost me 5 RMB here. It's going to cost me 5 RMB back, exactly the same as the other day when I took the metro. So 10 RMB is really not a lot. Unfortunately, it's quite a hassle. And once again, not much for me to do here, even though I did bring my bathing suit. I'm not going to really go swimming or anything, so I'm basically just going to turn around and go straight back. Hope you guys found this informative. Next time we'll be trying a different kind of transport here in the city. And until next time, you know the drill, guys. As always, stay awesome. Oh, and don't forget, if you want to go to the beaches here in Shenzhen, bring your passport along, apparently. Or at least a copy on your phone like I did. What a pain in the ass. Who wants to go to the beach with their passport? We'll get lost and full of sand. So I'm on the bus back, and just in the nick of time, it's just started raining. Told you, Shenzhen's weather's weird. Now the interesting thing about this bus is that it's actually a hybrid diesel-electric. In other words, the actual drive of the bus is electric, but it uses a diesel generator to kind of generate electricity. And a lot of the buses here in Shenzhen are actually fully electric. Obviously, this one goes on a very long trip, so it needs to have the range. That's why it's a hybrid. But I do believe that Shenzhen is trying to be the first city in the world to be fully electric when it comes to buses. I know, at least in China. And it was the first city in China to introduce electric taxis. So it's kind of interesting to see how advanced the bus fleet and taxi fleet are here in this city. And you can hear right now, you know, we're pulling off in very little noise.